horn not working on a Skoda Fabia 1.9 TDI 99 to 2007. If we go into the car, turn the ignition on and press the horn, doesn't work. You've got to press it quite firmly. I am doing, and it's still not working. Right, first thing to do is have a look at the fuse. Turn the engine off, and your fuse cover is just here on the driver's side behind this panel. There's a little slot down at the bottom that you can put your key in. It's about the width of your key. You just put that in and then it'll prise out a little bit. Bend the panel outwards and then take it off. Just pulls out. Here are all the fuses, and it's good to have a diagram of these, which you can probably find online. That's where I found mine, and I printed it out on an A4 piece of paper and stuffed it in here. So I'll just have a look at that. Find the fuse for the horn. Here it is, number 40. That's a 20 amp fuse. Here it is. Use the little plastic pliers. Pull that out. Have a look at the fuse. As you can see, the fuse is intact here. You can just see it. Nothing wrong with that. So I'll put that back. Put my diagram and my cover back, and I'll go and have a look at the horn, which on this car is located down at the bottom left hand fog light, and you should be able to get access from the front without taking the bumper off. Put something down on the ground to kneel on. I've got my anti-Mildred's rug, which is ideal because it's a little bit cold today. We need to take this little plastic quarter panel out, which is held in by two little clips at the top. Well, those two little slots are. You just need to put a screwdriver in there, a flat-bladed screwdriver, and just prise them down a little bit, and then the whole thing will hinge forward on some lugs at the bottom. And here's the horn. Yours might look a little bit different. There's different types of horns that are installed, but I believe they're all in the same place. Mine's a single horn held in by a 13mm bolt. It's actually quite difficult to get to the connections at the back here. It's a little bit fiddly with getting your hands in, so it's easier just to undo the bolt and take the horn out completely. You could also, of course, take the fog light out, which will give you a little bit more access at the side, but it's easy enough to take this single bolt out on a long extension with a 1/4 inch drive. When you've undone it, be careful not to drop the bolt down and lose it, otherwise you'll have to take all the under tray off. Pull that out. It's on quite a long lead. To detach the connection, just push together the two stainless steel clips at the side. It's a little bit tight, so you need to rock it backwards and forwards. It'll come off. Looks like there's quite a bit of corrosion on the contacts here. It's all gone green. That's probably what my problem is, actually. So I'll have to clean those up before I put it back. Use a bit of emery paper on the contacts. And if you've got some contact spray, then that's ideal as well. Then I plugged it in and unplugged it and plugged it in again a few times. Before we get on to the interesting bit, which is the testing. And you'd expect to see a voltage supply when you press the switch, commensurate with the voltage of the horn, but that's not what I got. When I turned the multimeter to volts, I was getting a few millivolts. It eventually settled down to 1 or 2 millivolts, and then when I went inside the car and pressed the horn, open circuit, and then back to a few millivolts. And when I turned it to resistance, I was getting about 140 odd kilo ohms. And again, when I pressed the horn switch, open circuit, and then back to the same reading. So I plugged the horn back in to see if it worked. That works perfectly fine. Now I know this is an ECU control circuit with a relay in between. So if we go inside the car, we can see if we can hear the relay working. The relay is under the dash, integrated into the voltage control unit. You can just hear it click there. And again. So that's working fine. Now what I'm going to do now with the horn attached, I'm going to back probe the contacts and then see what kind of a reading we get from that. Here we are, I've got it set up so I can see it through the dash. And when I press the horn works with an open circuit. Now I did notice there's a small spike in the voltage, 2.3 volts, just before it went to an open circuit. And the resistance figures. Again, every time I press the horn, open circuit. I'm pretty sure my multimeter's working perfectly, and as you can hear, the horn's working perfectly as well. So I'm not quite sure just what's going on here. I know it's something to do with the ECU controlling the circuit, and possibly something to do with multimeters. I did attach a test light actually, and that didn't illuminate either, whatever I did. So if there's any of you guys know what's going on here, please leave something in the comments that we can all benefit from. But for now, I'm happy that it works. And I'll just put it all back. Oh, there's just one more thing. The little adjustment screw on the horn, just here, which is sealed in. If you believe the circuit's okay, it might just be that the horn needs adjusting slightly. It doesn't really adjust the tone, not by much anyway. It's really there just to tune it into the tone it's already set at. If you want a different tone, then I think you need a new horn off. But with this electronic circuit, I'm not sure if anything else will fit or work properly. But for now, I'll just reassemble it. I put the bolt in the bracket before I put it in, just in case it gets lost inside the bumper. That's nice and tight now. And the little cover just slots in at the bottom and pushes home at the top. Job done. If I do manage to find out what's going on here, I'll do a video on it, obviously. I'm quite intrigued by this myself. Maybe I'll go and ask Uncle Bob. He usually knows about such things, but he's sleeping at the moment in his shed, so I won't disturb him. So that's all for now, folks. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.